Very recently, I did a story about the Vandy Jane Doe. I featured her story in a group of unsolved cases, and I have a follow-up on her case. Vandy Jane Doe, found in Tennessee in 2018, has been identified as 25-year-old Yadezia Jones, Yadezia. The identification was made through forensic investigation and genetic testing. The cause and manner of death still remain unknown. So just a little background on Vandy Jane Doe for those of you who maybe didn't see my video. It was September the 8th, 2018, when a Jane Doe was found along Sulphur Creek Road in the Whites Creek area of Davidson County, Tennessee. She was featured on Dateline in the cold case spotlight. Now, detectives put out composite drawings of her. They searched. They had a lot of the clothing and articles and things that was found with her body. And these pictures and photographs of these were put out there for people. But for the last 7 years, no one knew who she was. She was wearing Vanderbilt University gear, clothing. She was fully clothed in these articles from Vanderbilt. That's how she got the name Vandy Jane Doe. She got her identity back February the 4th, 2026, when she was identified as 25-year-old Yadezia Jones of Nashville, Tennessee. According to the investigation, they had been working with the University of North Texas Human Identification Department to develop DNA profiles, and these were entered into national databases, but there was no matches. In 2022, biological samples were collected, and the samples were sent to Othram Labs in Texas, and they were able to upload this to Family Tree DNA. September 2025, DNA Investigative Solutions was given access to the profile. Now, it just goes on to talk more about how DNA was collected and which departments got her DNA and was making profiles about her. They got a match in December, and they identified someone who was likely her parent. Now, they were able to get in touch with the family, and they were told that they did have a missing daughter who they had not spoken to since 2018. They gave their DNA samples, and this came about right away, that she was identified as their missing daughter. It doesn't go into a lot of detail about her. I don't know if she was ever listed as a missing person. I went back through a lot of websites, a lot of links to see if there was anything about her before she was ID'd as Vandy Jane Doe. Yadezia Jones was born May 24, 1993. Her body was discovered along a rural road in Nashville, Tennessee in September of 2018. She was identified using DNA. It goes on to talk about the case, how she came to be found, and her DNA being entered, and just all the details about that. But I couldn't find what I searched for and couldn't find was, had she ever been reported missing by her family? Had she been put out on Name Us or any of that kind of thing? Yadezia Jones on the Doe Network. It just said that they had not spoken to her since 2018. Were they estranged? Had there been an argument? Had the family kind of just, you know, written her off as just she just went off on her own and didn't want anything to do with them? I don't know. That was what I couldn't find, was her background of having been missing for all these years. Maybe someone out there will do some follow-ups about her. There had to have been something going on. If she was never reported missing, and I'm not saying that she wasn't, I just couldn't find anything. Like, I put in her name, and it all comes back to her having been identified, but nothing about her having been reported missing all those years back. And there's just a link here that says if anyone has any information about her in the time from that she was discovered, going back before she was discovered, had she had no contact with her family? Did she have children? Did she have a volatile marriage or anything of that nature? Had she ever been reported missing? Or was she on any of the NAMAs or, any of those types of missing persons cases out there? I couldn't find anything. There's a phone number here, 615-862-7720, Cold Case Detective Andrew Davis. And until her identity was discovered in 2025, early 2026, what was her friends and family and everyone out there thinking about her? Was anyone trying to contact her? Thanks for watching.